Alright, what is up, guys? We're out cruising around. I'm taking the Vulcan for a spin. We're going to do a little review. So the rocket needs to be serviced. So she's sitting this one out today because I'm broke as shit. So I'll get her serviced soon, I promise. But for right now, we're going to rock the Vulcan today. This is a 2017 Vulcan S. It's a 650. It's a parallel twin. The motor that's in this bike is actually the same motor that they put in the Kawasaki Ninjas. Oh man, check that out. Nice little old farm truck. But yeah, so this is a great entry-level bike. So for those of you guys that are currently looking for a good beginner motorcycle, this is it. So we just kind of wanted to do a little review on this bike just because I think it's such a great entry-level bike. This was actually Zach's first bike, besides the Rebel anyway, if you want to count that. I don't know if you want to count that as your first bike.
Sure, yeah.
So this is Zach's second bike then that he has. It's so this is what he upgraded from the VMAX. Zach, do you have any things you want to add about, like, as far as like comparing it, your experiences versus the VMAX on this?
I mean, really, comparative wise, it's literally like exactly the same as driving the VMAX, just with a lot less power. Like, pretty much everything else is exactly the same in terms of like feel, other than this bike being way heavier. But like in terms of like just where you're going to be shifting, how you're cruising around, just like the RPM ranges, like I think the RPM ranges are actually the exact same. So it's,
yeah, I can
it's
see
pretty
that.
much the same bike, just big brother, lots of water.
Oh shit. Dad's getting that all over his back. But yeah, just so you guys know, there's a big old pothole. But just so you guys know, we get this question all the time, you know, what's a good starter bike? I highly recommend the Vulcan 650S. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over a couple of the reasons why I think this is a great starter bike. Reason number one, it's very nimble and it's a good weight for a starter bike. You know, because it's not too light where, like, if you wanted to upgrade later, it would be like a big dramatic change. Oh, there's some alpacas. I got distracted by the alpacas. But yeah, so it's a good entry-level weight for a bike because it's got a decent amount of weight to it. So if you do upgrade to something bigger, it's not going to be like that bad of a switch for you. It's going to take you a while as a beginner to get bored with the power. To be honest, it's got great amount of power to weight ratio. You can definitely have some fun on this bike. But when I say that, I'm also saying that it's not like crazy. It's not like a street monster, you know, like you're not going to get scared on this bike at all. It's not gonna, you know, like buck you off instantly because it has like gobs of horsepower or torque or anything like that. But I will tell you though, like, this is a guy, like, you're looking at a guy that has like the top performance cruiser that they make right now, Zach, the VMAX. So like, you know, I will tell you that this does have, I don't want to knock the power on this at all for those of you guys that want to get something that you can grow into, because it does have a decent amount of power. So the motor that they put in this bike is the same engine that they put in the Ninja. So it's definitely got that sport bike performance if you're looking for that. But it's got more of like a cruiser feel.
Yeah, I think that's honestly my favorite thing about that bike, just in general, as it being a beginner bike, is just because it's literally the heart of a sport bike, but just the style of a cruiser. So like, I feel like if you can get really comfortable on that bike, you can literally transition to any bike. because you'll have all of the knowledge of knowing how to manage a sport bike and then just kind of being relaxed on a cruiser, so I guess the only thing you would need to really get used to on a sport bike would just be the seating position.
Also, another good thing too is this bike is also good to practice on because it is liquid cooled. So like that's a problem that we run into with the Rebel a lot, like when we're teaching people, because it's going real slow in the parking lot, you know, because they're learning, and it's air cooled, the Rebel. So that's a lot of work on that engine because it's just getting hot and it's not really getting any airflow.
Yeah, and plus it has the benefit of what other beginner motorcycles don't have is like the Rebel is you outgrow it really quickly. So you know, you end up spending, you know, $3 or $4 grand on a motorcycle that you're going to outgrow within the next season, whereas that you're going to spend, you know, they go for $5, you know, used, and you can keep that pretty much as long as you really feel like it. I mean, and as long as you don't taint yourself with infinite power like I did, because that's the only reason that bike feels like a toy to me anymore, is because I'm driving this 200 horsepower monster. So it's like, if I didn't taint myself with this, that bike still would have felt like a machine to me. Like I'd been like, this is cool, but I've had a taste of the good stuff.
Yeah, no, so, for sure.
It's
yeah, I also just like the peg placement. Like even like the back brake just feels like it's like I don't have to overextend my foot at all. Like the peg placement is great. When you get this bike from the dealership, they have an option, the Ergo Fit, which basically you can like adjust the suspension and move the bike forward or backward. So that way you can make the controls closer to you or further away if needed. So that's really cool that they have that option. It's basically like you can custom tailor the bike to fit you specifically.
Another plus to being a beginner bike, because there's not many bikes you can go sit on, you know, 40 different bikes and half of them aren't going to really work for you, but that bike, even if it doesn't work for you, they can adjust it to where it does. So it's good.
Yeah, the friction zone is great on here. It's pretty difficult to actually stall this bike. I haven't had any issues so far. Yeah, no, but I haven't had any issues so far. And we'll see how it goes.
You say that, but that's the one reason I recommend getting an exhaust for it. Not just for performance, but for just being loud. Because it's so quiet that's the only reason you're going to stall it, is because you cannot hear a single thing. Like,
this is true.
It's the weirdest experience. Like with my helmet on when I took it out the other day, it was like I was just into nothing. Like I was just moving and nothing was carrying me because it was so quiet. Like if you want to experience flying, I guess that's what it would feel like.
I wonder if they make one of those like quiet exhausts for this bike, like you can adjust it. You know, like they make one for the Rocket where it's like you can make it go into like silent mode.
Yeah, they just have like a magnetic exhaust where it just closes. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can make one, but
yeah, because I don't know how new that technology is, so I don't know when they started offering that. But yeah, I mean, it's really just like, if you're looking for a bike that will check all of your boxes, I mean, you found it. This is it. The Vulcan S650. Good weight, it's comfortable, it's got a decent amount of power, something you can grow into.
Something you can grow into and out of, which is perfect. That's what you want.
Exactly. I mean, like, I would feel comfortable putting a brand new beginner, like someone who's never been on a bike before, on this bike. Honestly, I would. Because, I mean, you know, with a good instructor, of course.
And I know for a fact it can wheelie pretty good. It can do the wheelies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this would be a good stunter bike as well. I think it would. It's a good, decent amount of weight. You could kind of manhandle this thing around, honestly. I will say, when you were still rocking the Vulcan full time, I never saw you trailing behind me when we took off.
No, it keeps up. It goes pretty good. There were definitely times where, like, you guys would take off and I knew there was no possible way I could catch you, but I definitely wasn't getting lost. Like, Whereas on this bike, there are times you guys take off and I'm like, do I want to catch up and pass them? Like, I got to make that choice. You know? Whereas on the Vulcan, I never had that choice. It was either stay where I was or fall behind. So, but
yeah, but we'll do a little walk around when we get there. We're meeting our Uncle Eric at his place. I'll do like a little walk around and show you the bike. It's got some battle scars, I will warn you guys.
Which brings me to the other point on the 2017. The 2017 also doesn't have ABS. Every other year has ABS.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing in 2017. It wasn't let's make this bike good, I guess. But all the other years do have ABS. Just not that one. I don't know if it's 2016. I think they started it in 2018. But I know for sure from like 2018 up, they have ABS.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we'll put it up there too, the years.
How about no, Scott? Okay.
So yeah, a con of this bike is not having ABS. For those,
Is where that battle scar came from.
yes, yeah, he had to. He made a goof, but it wasn't really his fault because this bike tires locked up.
It was a goof. It was still a goof.
Yeah.
But
the
it could have been avoided with ABS.
This is true. This is true. So if you ever have to slam on your brakes, guys, and you are buying a bike, you do want to make sure you have ABS because your tires will lock up, and that's no bueno on a motorcycle.
It went terribly wrong.
Hey, why does my GoPro look like that?
What?
Does this look weird? No?
Take it off, take it off, take it off.
So for those of you guys that are new to the channel, we are Pirates of the Tarmac. We do just pretty much about anything motorized themed. We're a motor enthusiast group, content creators. We do skits, builds, and more. So if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. So that way you guys can get notified when we got new content coming out. We're doing reviews, doing rides, all that fun stuff you don't want to miss out on. So appreciate you guys tuning in and giving this episode a watch. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.